Okay guys, so thanks for joining my channel again. For this video I'm going to be stripping out a LED light to see what kind of possible scrap metal I can get out of it, or what sort of gold recovery metals I can get, or precious metals I can get out of it. So I'm hoping to find maybe some copper. Hopefully it would have been an LED. There might be a little control board inside, so that I can find some, maybe an IC chip or something like that on it, so I can put it into my collection. So we'll just start off straight into it. So if you're already a subscriber, thanks for subscribing to my channel. If you're new and have just come across this channel, please make sure that you subscribe to it. Just it only takes a moment of your time, but it means a lot to me if you actually subscribe to the channel. So we'll just take off this bracket. First off, a little bit of metal, so that goes into my scrap steel, and then we have some screws on the actual sensor down here. This was your PIR sensor, so that will pick up any movement. So if anyone was at night walking around, we need to get that right head for it. Let's try one of the other heads. That one seems to be it. Doesn't want to come out too easy. Let me get another few heads. This is where I should have maybe checked to see what size screw it was before I started. Maybe that one was slightly rounded, maybe that's the reason. We'll just have a look here and see, will it come out now for me? Yeah, it's coming out on this side anyhow. So we may have an issue on the other side that maybe someone already tried to repair this, and that's the reason that one was out and they couldn't get it working. So you can see there's some rust on the screw, so it was up and it was working, so the person that gave it to me may have tried to repair the problem. So we have an issue now with a screw there, which I will just break the top off it. So we're straight into a little control board or power board of some sort. So again, we just remove the screws. So let's see what we have here. Okay, so it seems to be a little power board, more or less, with a few bits of copper wire attached. So little wires here. My snips doesn't get enough grip behind it. So that's it. So we have a little control board with a sensor that picks up on any movement outside. This is the dials at the bottom where you could set it, so that you can set it to come on within certain times, stuff like that. So really nothing of value to me. So that's just a little scrap board, maybe a bit of aluminium connectors there, but that's about it. So nothing much there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to pause the video and we'll remove all the screws from the back here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 screws. There's a little bit of a gland going into the actual board. That's a bit of aluminium, so again that can go in with your aluminium. And we have a little a nut here that we can try and loosen off, but we'll remove the screws first. So I'll just pause the video there and we'll come back and we'll remove the screws and see what's underneath. Okay, so we've removed all the screws there, so I'm just going to use a little normal household knife to get in underneath the actual frame, going around it, and see can we get it removed fairly easy from there. Hopefully that will give us something to get a little bit of a grip in here. So we have, so that's just our front cover. So again, that's just a plastic, believe it or not, even though it looks like it could be an aluminium or something, but it's just plastic. So again, into your plastic, little bit of aluminium. So we can put that with our aluminium. or as you see in America, aluminum. So as you see, this was a fairly new light, but it didn't last too long. So again, it's probably just something that blew in it, because you can see the protective covers, stuff like that was still over it. So that's just glass. So I'll hold on to that. I may find something I can use that for again. Maybe a little window into some sort of side thing that where I need to see into. Okay, so here we have our main LED layout on the actual board itself, and some resistors, I presume, and maybe an MLCC, is it, of some sort? No, it's not. It's not an MLCC. I was hoping that'd be a nice large MLCC, but it's not. So again, most LED lights will contain a little gold bond wire inside them. So again, I do hold on to these LED lights, we'll crush them up in a future video, and see, do I get my little bit of gold from them. So I need to change that to another head again. So let's see which one fits best. That one seems to be okay. And this is a nice chunk of aluminium as well, cast aluminium, that this is actually built out of. So I put that a nice little find to have a thing, but it's not much to these lights if we look at them. I was expecting maybe a bit better in them because of the size of it, but so that was the wires going to your sensor. So the power came in, went to your sensor, and the sensor would either allow the power back to light the LEDs, or if it was no movement, or it was during the daytime, because there was a daytime setting on this, so they wouldn't come on during the day. So the light sensor then wouldn't allow it to come on. It was only when it got dark that the light, so you weren't wasting electricity with a light on all day when there was no need for it. So that seems to be everything, but this seems to be well stuck down. This is my next issue, is how to remove this, because that's a very sticky tape that was used. As you can see there, it is very, very sticky. So this could be our next issue, how to remove that from the rest of the system. So we'll just, what we'll do first actually is I'm going to remove the wire to give myself a bit more access, if I can find my snips again. So again, we'll just so as you can see, my snips isn't the best. So, and we'll just move this screw from here, which is a little plastic clip holding it on, and hopefully we can remove the wires. Oh yes. Now before we cut this little connector, okay, so we just have a small little bit of copper insulated wire. So again, hopefully in a future video I'll do a little bit on stripping these out. Some people don't strip them out because it's not worth it with the current price of copper, but again, I kind of strip it out, to be honest, personally, and I just put it away. It's not something I sell straight away. I just build up a lot of stripped copper wire. It just takes a little bit of time. I'm just going to remove these little connectors or diodes or whatever they are, or resistors that I'm not familiar with. I do not know if there's anything worth taking out of them. So if anyone's watching this video, and let me know, are these worth keeping? Is there anything in them? Would you keep anything out of them? So just take this off as well. So we have a little brass connector. Again, you can throw that into a jar or something. Just connect up your brass connectors and put them all together. You get a bit better price if you cut them off that. You're only going to, when you're throwing this in, you're only going to get price of insulated wire. If you're throwing in with your insulated wire, I just cut them off, just take the wire out of it and sell that as a little brass connector. So when I go in there with a jar of or a bucket full of brass connectors, I'm getting brass prices rather than wire connectors, or not wire connectors, rather than wire prices. So now, so really, to be honest, there's not much to this. Again, some just screws and steel, and just down here, see, can we remove the actual, because again, that's just plastic, that's not aluminium, so I want to take that away from the rest of the aluminium, so that I can get the best price possible for the aluminium. Because again, if you clean up your aluminium, you're going to get the best price possible for it. So it's just a matter of making sure that we get the best price for everything. So I'll just remove anything that isn't aluminium from it, because you want to be getting the best prices. Now I should have bought a better pliers than what I have here in my hand, because this was just a little snips that are not snips, a little tweezer nose or pliers, and it's gone. The spring is gone. So I'm just going to pause that video. I'm going to get right pliers and we'll take the rest away. And I want to get something to get in underneath here and see, can I remove this this actual board from. So I want to get all the sticky stuff that's holding in place, all this glued backing away from it. So I might just need to get a knife and just scrape it away from it, so that I can remove this as well from the actual aluminium. Because again, to get my best price, I need to have clean aluminium if possible. So you can see that's one big chunk of aluminium. So there may be half a pound there of aluminium. So it's just to get the best price. As you can see, this is very, very sticky stuff they put on to hold it in place. So I need to remove all of that actually. So we'll just remove that while I'm talking. So let me know what you're scrapping, if you're into scrapping, if you're whatever you're into, let us know. Your YouTube channel, again, I pop by your YouTube channel and have a look at it. No guarantees I will subscribe. I'm not one of these, I don't do sub for sub or any of that carry on. To be honest, I probably did at the beginning, but I discovered that it's an actual waste of time doing that sub for sub, because for a start, people take their subs back. A lot of people take their subs back to do that sub for sub. They wait to see, do you sub? As soon as you sub, they take it back. Or if you don't sub within a certain time, they take it away, which is a bit childish, to be honest. If you want to sub to a channel, it doesn't take any effort just to be a sub on a channel. You don't have, you just check in on their channel every so often. As I try and do my rounds once a week to most of my channels. Sometimes I mightn't comment on some of the stuff, because it's not something that really may interest me, but I give them a bit of time. I look at their channel. I've found some good channels which aren't into scrap that I like watching. So as you can see, this is very, very sticky stuff. So I just need to remove it from as much as I can. Let's see, can we get the knife in underneath? Which doesn't look like it's going to be an easy job, so this may be a job for another video. But anyway, I'll pause it there first and we'll remove that, and I'll see can I get something to get in under it. Okay guys, so I've removed this little plastic fitting that's at the bottom of this light. So all I'm left with now is mainly the cast aluminium itself. There's one more item I need to get out, which will be this, which isn't aluminium. So magnet test on that proved that wasn't. So that'll be banged out because it's kind of fitted to in there. So I'll just bang that out with a hammer later on. Now, so I'll try and remove this LED panel from here with a chisel. Maybe I'm hoping that a chisel might get in under it to get it started, and once we get it started, it's just a matter of a thing. So we just have to be careful the chisel doesn't slip and impale me, which could be a very good video. It might help my channel take off to see a man with a chisel stuck through his hand. So again, I'm just trying from the corners to see if we can get it started. We'll move to another bigger chisel now that we've got it started. So you can hear by that is well stuck on. So just pushing against that. All I'm doing is pushing against it, so it's lifting the plastic, lifting it off. As you can see now, we can get in under it a lot easier. So, and now if we just pry against it, there we go. So, cast aluminium, or screwed aluminium cast, I'd be thinking. So, just need to clean that up, remove that from here. Let's see will it do the whole thing out. It actually did. So we're left with a clean piece of aluminium. So that's worth a lot more money now than if I hadn't it cleaned up. So looking here at the board, we'll just see can we remove the sticker from the back, which is very tacky. I was expecting maybe a bit better, maybe an IC operating chip or something on it, but there isn't. So there's not really much to these actual. So again, that feels like aluminium. So it's just a piece of aluminium. We have a look down here. So we have some IC chips here that I can remove, just small, very small IC chips, and some little resistors, it looks like, on the actual thing. And these LEDs here, it's very hard to see, but whether they contain a gold bonding wire or not. But again, I'll use a little heat gun and heat the back of it and allow them LED lights to fall off. And I collect up all the LEDs, and again we'll do a video on that when I go to process the LEDs. My plan is to crush them down and use nitric first to get rid of any base metals, and then probably not nitric, HCl, sorry, hydrochloric acid to get rid of it, and then hopefully if we're left with solid gold bonding wires, I can dissolve them using nitric acid. Now again, as I say, nitric acid is very hard got here, so in Ireland, so I'll have to make my own nitric or a version of it, a poor man's version of it. So that's it really for this video. So there's not much to this actual LED light. So we've got our row of LEDs which hopefully contain a little gold bonding wire inside them. We have some MLCCs which I will use for hopefully they contain a little gold bonding wires inside them as well, which I'll process with my other IC chips. I have a few pieces of aluminium. So again, that's the aluminium. So when I remove the all the stuff from this, I'll be left with a clean piece of aluminium, another bit of aluminium, and a larger piece of aluminium. So altogether, maybe 3/4 pound of aluminium. I have some copper wire. So again, which I can strip down to bare wire, or you can leave it in as insulated wire if you prefer not to spend the time to do it. As I say, sometimes it's not worth it, depending on the copper prices at the time. And then we have just a small bit of steel, just normal steel, it's not aluminium. I've tested it, a magnet sticks to it. That is it. So that's kind of it for this video. So thanks for joining the channel again, guys. Keep an eye out on all my other videos that I've done. I've put a few links throughout the video. You would have seen little links pop up in the corners. So if you want to go back and click onto any of them links, check them out. Also here at the end now, I will also put a few video links. So thanks guys for checking out my video. Until the next time, keep on scrapping.